Welcome to a Writer Wednesday video about my war against weak verbs, a video I'm calling Why I Hate Weak Verbs and Other Vague or Concealing Language. It's perfectly fine and expected to have weak verbs in your writing. I just want to encourage people when they go to revise their writing to try to use better verbs, more powerful, interesting, engaging verbs, and eliminate them. After all, we use weak verbs all the time in conversational English, and I would expect it in dialogue and all of that. First, I'm sure most of you don't need this review, but if you write in active voice with sentences formed as subject, verb, object, aka SVO, then you mostly avoid this issue of weak verbs. Active voice sentence example: Bill threw the ball. I like this. Short, simple, to the point, nothing hidden, no chance for confusion. Unfortunately, we live in a world in which people tend to write, "The ball was thrown by Bill." Oh my. It's grammatically correct, but needlessly wordy, and starts out about the ball. Poor Bill ends up in a prepositional phrase. Side note, it's okay if you want to blame the school system for this issue, for making you conjugate being verbs, helping verbs over and over when your mind was developing, and perhaps you were potentially accidentally brainwashed by the school system to use weak verbs as your mental default. It's okay. You can acknowledge it, blame whatever teachers that you want to. Here's the danger. People tend to rush, and these days often leave off the subject, the actor in the sentence. We end up with, "The ball was thrown." Imagine you're watching the big game. You turn up the volume and you go to get a snack from the kitchen. The announcers yell out sentences like, "The ball was thrown, the ball was caught, the ball was taken down the field." You'd have no idea what was really going on if you weren't watching the screen. If you use lots of weak verbs, that's how your readers feel when they attempt to engage in your writing. They can't follow your words. They can't form mental images. I suggest you use weak verbs sparingly. Hopefully, only when you need to for hypotheticals or conditionals, which I would argue you probably can eliminate from your writing, or for rare occasions of emphasizing duration in the past, or the most sinister reason to use weak verb, to hide information on purpose. Let's say my buddy Stacy broke the copy machine and my boss wants to know what happened. And I don't want to lie, I can be vague. I can say the copy machine was broken. That way I don't rat out my friend, but I don't directly lie either. It is sin of omission though. Also, if you write dialogue, feel free to put the weak verbs all littered into your dialogue, because that's how conversations work. But try writing your narrator, your beautiful prose paragraphs, without weak verb, and you'll use much better language with more active and meaningful action. Work on this technique when you're revising your sentences, and this will also help you realize that you may need to combine sentences together, make much longer, more complex sentences to deliver that information without the weak verbs. In case I failed to convince you thus far, let me give you my two favorite examples of weak verbs or vague language usage. Sentence: the cat sat in the hat, semicolon, it was cold. It was cold is the weak vague part. Tell me, what does it mean? Is it the cat, the hat, or the environment? I don't know. It could refer to any of those three. It is confusing. It is vague language. The last example I'll leave you with. Tell me what this sentence means. It's in English, it's grammatically correct. Here we go. It is that which was there. Without reference, those words create nonsense, confusion, chaos. It is that which was there. Please avoid setting up sentences like that using those words if you don't need to. Avoid using weak verbs. Avoid the word it and other vague pronouns. Avoid using that and if you don't need to. You could argue plenty of published authors use these words like crazy, but they excelled at their craft. And if you're a beginning writer, you're just not there yet. You're not at that level. So I believe that you should challenge yourself. And my goodness, it's a changing world. If you want to stand out, you need to evolve. You need to elevate your language. Master active voice, subject, verb, object, and then play with the language. I hope this has helped you. Every day is a good day for a book talk or writing discussion. Peace.